Hello! Well, you can hear me now. I can definitely tell that much. Hold on one second, and we'll see if you can actually see me as well. I'm watching the chat room and making sure of all this. So, guys, the very second that you hear me or see me on there, please, for the love of God, let me know. All right? Because as much as I want to watch this from my watch page, I really can't at the moment. Normally, we would have like intro music and all of that crap. The main reason we don't have intro music and all of that crap tonight is because I'm not very good this evening. My computer, which we had hardwired in the other room, decided that it needed to update the very moment that that we were getting ready to start the stream, which means, of course, that you fine people get to see me sit here and do absolutely nothing for a while. All right, so people are telling me that the stream is going. So welcome to the front porch stream for tonight. You'll see I have somebody barely off on camera here. This is QM, who has come in here to make sure I don't hurt myself again. Tonight's stream is Barrooms and Ballads. Sweetie, you're going to want to move over if you want to be on camera. Well, I know, but we don't have a lot of choices at this point. I'm sorry. Barrooms and Ballads. The idea behind Barrooms and Ballads. Oh, look, dipshits decided to come join us. The idea behind Barrooms and Ballads is like with every front porch stream. If this is your first one, I sit here, I tell stories, I sing songs. It's a throwback to when I was a kid in a younger era, and we sat around and we sang songs and talked on the front porch on those warm summer evenings. Obviously, we're not on my front porch. That's because I don't have really good lighting out on that front porch, and somebody won't let me spring for the very nice cameras right now.
Well, let's get you healed up and
Yeah, you see. So we're going to be singing songs. We're going to be telling stories. And tonight's stories on Barrooms and Ballads is going to be stories of my misspent and very often misremembered youth. The stories of being drunk, and causing trouble while you're drunk.
Before you unplug the computer.
We'll give it a minute. Dipshit the three-legged dog has decided he wants to live under the computer desk right now. And if you don't know this, I live in a very old house. Very old houses have very bad wiring. The very bad wiring that my computer is hooked into means that if somebody goes under my desk, they're going to unplug the entire thing all at once. The stream will drop. There will be mass destruction. People will be miserable. Flames, cities, riots, the whole 9 yards. So normally I actually have the things that I'm going to be doing up on the screen tonight. I do not. I do not have these up on the screen tonight because I wasn't planning on being in this room or on this computer. But let's start with talking about drinking and the first drink, because that's always a good place to start when you're doing things like this. Oh look, it's frozen. Like seriously, it just froze. There we go. Yeah, and there it goes. It's gonna keep dropping it in here. That's why I want it to be hardwired in there. The first. Yeah. One moment, guys. This is your fault.
It's yours.
This is your fault.
It's your fault.
No. This is why I hate this fucking computer. But just until we get it hard networked in, it's gonna keep doing the video like
when
that.
You do that.
Yeah, we do. How is everybody? We were about to start talking about first drinks, and I'll do that in a moment. But first, I'm going to have my first drink. This is Wild Turkey Rare Breed. It was a gift from the wonderful Dr. Conway at ACE. ACE, if you don't know, is Anthro Crossroads East. It was a furry convention down in North Carolina last weekend. We got these wonderful glasses down there from them for showing up and telling some really bad jokes and running a panel. So now that we've done the parenting portion of the evening, let's move into the storytelling portion of the evening. What was your first drink?
Oh God. Well, I would have to say it was Krupnik. My parents always made this. It's an Eastern European drink. It's basically like citrus and spiced moonshine.
Well, that sounds disgusting.
It's warm. It's really good. Like people have their own variations of it. Like they make it kind of in this area, and they call it boilo, but it's not the same. They make it with whiskey instead of moonshine, and they leave out a few ingredients, but there are a lot of places that still have like a variation of it. They still make it in Eastern Europe.
That sounds disgusting.
I thought it was good. It's really good. And my grandmother always used to give us a little taste.
My first drink was beer. And guys, when I say first drink, I'm not talking like your first drink that you had sitting at a restaurant with your dad beside you and mom wasn't looking, so dad would give you a little sip of beer. I'm talking about the first time you sat down, old enough to know what the hell you were doing and knowing full well what you were doing and having a drink. Now, surprisingly enough, I did not drink in high school. I did not start drinking until I went to college. And I started drinking in my brother Dick's living room. Dick lived with 3 other guys in an off-campus house, and they had all been kicked out of their fraternity. Dick had been kicked out of his fraternity because he started a fire. Now, I'm a freshman, and my brother and I have never gotten along. We did not get along together when we were younger. We do not get along together that well now. We always say we love each other, but we don't like each other. And that there is no requirement that we like each other simply because we are family, but we do love each other, and we will do anything we can to help each other. Fucking Microsoft updates. We will do anything we can to help each other. Somebody's telling me the stream is off again. Is the stream off again?
I don't know.
Because it says in the corner the stream's still on.
It says in the corner, but it's lied before.
Yeah, this is why we need to hardwire this one in.
We do.
We need to just get done with buying this place and hardwire it in. Okay, no, the stream's obviously still on because people are responding to the story.
Oh, okay. Good.
So Dick and I did not get along at all when we were growing up. We had a very troubled relationship. We loved each other. We did not like each other. I very fondly recall one afternoon on the school bus, I was being picked on. I was younger than my brother, obviously. I was being picked on by somebody, and Dick came back and punched him and said, "That's my brother. I'm the only one allowed to hit him." So, I get to college. Now, I'm living in the dorms. It's my first semester at college, my first year at college. My brother's at the same college, living a few blocks off campus, easily within walking distance. I go over to visit him, and that's when I find out that my brother enjoys the wacky tobacco. He likes the jazz cigarettes. He enjoys just a little bit of the wacky weed. He enjoys smoking pot. That's what I'm getting at, or at least he did then. And all of his roommates did as well. And I, being a young, impressionable man, just out of the house for the first time. Oh my god. Just out of the house for the first time, living on my own in a dormitory, decided that I wanted to be a friend to my brother and that I would partake. And I'll never forget, I took a toke and my brother looks at me and he says, "If I knew you liked to party, we could have hung out more in high school." Now, I don't like to party. I'm not a big fan of marijuana. I've never really enjoyed it. That was solidified one time when I got drunk and tried to smoke the wacky tobacco and promptly made a Technicolor rainbow out of my mouth all over the front seat of somebody's car. That's a story for a bit of another time. Shadow Bro 4 is now following. Thank you, Shadow Bro 4. But we go over to my brother Dick's. Now, this time it was myself. It was a friend of mine from college who was rather experienced at smoking marijuana at that point in time. And it was a friend of mine from high school who was at the same university. We had met up in one of our classes and decided that we now liked each other. So we all go over to my brother's. My brother rolls a cigar and hands it to us. And as we are smoking the cigar, somebody looks at him and says, "Hey, what's in that?" And he says, "Red Rock." Red Rock was crumpled opium. And it was sprinkled all over the top of this cigar. So there we were, high as fucking kites. And I mean like kites with the fucking string snapped. This was the end of Mary Poppins. And we decide, myself, we'll call him Mark, and my buddy, we'll say Ronnie. Okay? So me, Mark, and Ronnie are all sitting there. And we decide that we want to go to a strip club. So we all pile into Mark's vehicle. I'm in the passenger seat. Mark is driving. Ronnie's in the back seat. By the way, guys, do not drive after a few drinks. Do not drive after smoking anything. It is horribly, horribly irresponsible. I do not condone it. However, I will admit that I have been a party to it in the past. I no longer am because I grew up and I got more than half a fucking brain and I realized I was being a goddamn moron. But we are on our way to the strip club. And on the way, myself and Mark are very calm individuals, and Ronnie's in the back. Ronnie had never done anything illicit, illegal, alcoholic, inebriating, anything like that in the past at all. And as we're on our way to the strip club, a police car pulls in behind us, and it's following us as cars normally do on the road. No closer, no further back, nothing like that. Uh, it is following us. And as we're at a certain point, Ronnie notices this and Ronnie starts to freak out. And Ronnie is saying, "Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, what's going to happen? Oh my God, they're going to stop us. Oh my God, they're going to catch us." And as we're driving, I'll never forget it. Mark is very quiet, and then he looks in the rear view and he goes, "Hey, Ron?" And Ronnie goes, "Yes." And Mark leans back without taking his eyes off the road and smacks him as hard as he can, and then says, "If you keep looking back, they sure as fuck are going to stop us, because only high people do that." So that would be my first adventure in alcoholism. Now, somebody in the room has said it sounds sort of echo, video stutters and pauses every so often, but quality is good. The video is stuttering and pausing not because of anything on the computer end. It is stuttering and pausing because we are not on my laptop. My laptop now had a hardwire connection into our router. This computer that we moved to, because my laptop is doing a horrible, horrible update, does not have a hard connection. The echo is because my children have been playing with my fucking microphone. I am not too happy about this. They have been promptly disciplined for it and told to leave it the fuck alone, but in that process they also rearranged certain areas of this room and moved things around away from where the sound quality normally was. I greatly apologize if video is stuttering for you. Absolutely nothing I can do about it, even if I drop the bit rate, because it is the connection. It is not the camera or the bit rate on this. But that is my first experience with partying hard and being a barroom hero. My further experiences go on from that, but this is barrooms and ballads. It is not barrooms and absolutely no singing. I always sing on these things. I don't know why I always sing on these things. People seem to like it, and so for some reason I keep having to do it. So we're going to start off tonight with one song from the Scottish Highlands because for some reason today I was thinking about Fox Amour. He had posted on his Twitter earlier today a picture that said "Hey Boozy," and it was a small fox looking like it was comforting a young badger. And the commentary response to that, other than "Yo Boozy," was an imagined conversation between the fox and the badger that went, "Oh no, they're out of whiskey," followed by, "It's nae a problem, you great dumpling. They still have Guinness." So, so we are going to start with an old Scottish tune tonight. It is public domain because I always sing public domain. However, unlike a certain cockroach, I am not scared off by singing public domain songs because of the risk of a copyright strike. I do not monetize the channel. I don't plan on monetizing the channel. If you do want to toss some money out, you can go to oh god, I forgot our Streamlabs link. There's a Ko-fi link somewhere on my page. I have a couple moderators in there who have those links. If they want to post them, they're certainly willing to. If you go through Streamlabs, it'll actually show you your donation on the screen. If you go through Ko-fi, it doesn't, but I'll say thank you if I notice. So, are you texting people?
I'm just
You're texting people in the middle of a... Thank you. Hold on, we're entertaining people. It's like a fucking miniature convention in here. So let's get started with Loch Lomond, and we'll see if I can actually hit this. I was trying to sing it last night, and my throat has been scratchy all week, so I don't know if I'll actually be able to, but let's try it. By yon bonny banks and by yon bonny braes, where the sun shines bright on Loch Lomond, where me and my true love will never meet again, on the bonny, bonny banks of Loch Lomond. Oh, you'll take the high road and I'll take the low road, and I'll be in Scotland afore ye, but me and my true love will never meet again, on the bonny, bonny banks of Loch Lomond. 'Twas there that we parted in yon shady glen, on the steep, steep side o' Ben Lomond, where in purple hue the Highland hills we view, and the moon coming out in the gloamin'. Oh, you'll take the high road and I'll take the low road, and I'll be in Scotland afore ye, but me and my true love will never meet again, on the bonny, bonny banks of Loch Lomond. The wee birdies sing and the wild flowers spring, and in sunshine the waters are sleepin', but the broken-hearted kens nae the second spring again, though the waeful may cease for their grievin'. Oh, you'll take the high road and I'll take the low road, and I'll be in Scotland afore ye, but me and my true love will never meet again, on the bonny, bonny banks of Loch Lomond. So there you go, Loch Lomond, a wonderful, nice little Scottish tune for Fox Amour out there, you fucking skinflint. In case you didn't know, Scottish people have a stereotype where they are all supposedly just very, very tight. They're very, very short with their money. She's glaring at me, and I don't know why, because you're not Scottish.
I am.
Now, that would explain nothing, because you spend money like a sieve. It's okay, I'm supposed to be Jewish, and God knows how much I've spent on furry conventions.
I am also very Jewish.
Somebody said you sound so much like Ronnie Brown, and I'm not sure whether that's a compliment or not.
Doing great.
Yeah. If you like my singing, by the way, first, God help you get your ears checked. Secondly, I have been informed by the director of programming at First Squared that due to a travel situation regarding Pepper Coyote, the Friday night singing panel up there has had to be changed. And now apparently myself and Pandas and Fox Moore are going to get up there and sing a bunch of shit. I was not made aware of this. I did not submit to this. I was not asked about this. I just opened my email inbox and there was a notification that, oh, I have another panel at First Square. She was notified about all this shit. I was not.
I wasn't.
Yeah, I don't believe that anymore. Like, you're like, oh, you said you'd do this? I'm going, when did I say I would do that? Well, we talked to the otter. I just noticed that there's like a whole lot of desktop audio coming through from a pop-up that just popped up. So that's got to be fun.
Good times.
I forgot. Well, no, that's my fault. I forgot to mute the desktop audio before we started the stream. We were in a rush to get it going. I'm sorry, guys. There was a desktop thing there. And I normally mute desktop audio beforehand, but I did not this time. Things were hectic. So, what do we have now? Well, we have more stories, most certainly. Do you have a story about drinking that you would like to tell and that won't end with us getting a divorce?
Oh, goodness.
Had I stopped before the second part, she'd have a lot of them. Tell the tequila story.
Oh, well,
Tell the tequila story.
Yeah, I've got to be careful with tequila. I like tequila, but tequila and I have a complicated relationship. When I drink too much of it, I tend to want to take my clothes off and light things on fire, which is a bad thing.
My wife, ladies and gentlemen. I married a nude arsonist.
But only with tequila.
I married a nude arsonist. Oh.
But fortunately, I was contained before I set too much on fire.
Well, I enjoyed when I was underage and trying to sneak into bars. That's right, folks. I was underage and trying to sneak into bars, especially in college. The thing you have to understand about me is I've looked about 30 since I was 18.
Older?
Yeah. I mean, I've looked about 30 since I was 18 years old. There was never a time that I looked like really young and baby-faced. Now people tell me, because I'm fat again, that if I shave off the facial hair, I once again look younger. But when I was thinner, I looked old. I looked old.
When we first started dating, we would go to a bar and it would be a bartender that was unfamiliar with us, and he'd be like, "Are you getting your daughter a drink too?"
Yeah, like no shit. They would card her. They'd just be like, "Here."
I'm older than he is. Believe it or not.
The fact is, though, guys, there weren't very many bartenders that weren't familiar with me.
That is true.
But when I was younger and I would go into places, especially in college, I would always go in with a friend of mine down in Lexington, Kentucky. And we would go into this place and we would sit and we would drink and nobody would ever card us. One evening they got a new bartender, and it's really kind of a magical thing. Because if you look old enough and you go there one or two times, when there's a bartender who won't card you because you look old enough, and they're supposed to card all the time, but they won't, nobody questions you after that. Like, you're a regular. People know you, so they assume you're okay every time you walk in. Don't do that, by the way. Things have changed significantly since those days. But I would go in, and I went in, I think, on a karaoke night, and I would get up and I would sing David Allan Coe's "You Never Even Called Me By My Name," and people would start to buy me drinks. And like the badass I would drink Smirnoff Ice. I drank Smirnoff Ice. That's right.
What's wrong with you?
I was 19. That's what was wrong with me. I was 19.
You get a pass.
So I would go and I would order my Smirnoff Ice like the big manly man I am. And I would sit at the bar and I would drink Smirnoff Ice. And one evening I took a friend there who looked a little younger. They had a new bartender though. And we walked up and we ordered our Smirnoff Ices, and the bartender proceeded to try to card us. But he didn't proceed to try to card me. He proceeded to try to card my friend, who immediately started stumbling over his words and said, I forgot my ID. I forgot my ID. And the bartender knew. The bartender knew in that one moment that he was not old enough to drink. I don't know how I didn't know I wasn't old enough to drink, because I had gone into a bar and willingly ordered a Smirnoff Ice. That should have been a tip-off, because I was not a sorority girl. But after that, the bartender just kind of stared at us for a minute and looked at me and looked at him and looked at me and looked at him and said, "Finish your drink and leave." And from that moment on, whenever I walked into that bar, they would ask for my ID. I never seemed to have it on me, because word had gotten around that despite all appearances, I was not indeed of the legal age to drink. And that the gentleman at the end of the bar ordering the Smirnoff Ice and singing David Allan Coe was not just a very rough gay man, but was underage. All because I tried to let a friend buy a fucking drink at a bar, and he doesn't know how to say, "Oh shit, I think I left my ID. I think I left my wallet at the apartment," or something along those lines. So, yeah. Uh-oh. You're being summoned.
I am being summoned.
You're being summoned. One of the Badjots has awoken. And you can actually see, if you look right there, there's our three-legged dipshit rampaging around the house. There's a child waking up. Oh. I don't think he's in the chat tonight. I haven't seen him. But if anybody has a direct line to Uncle Kage right now, thank him. That is good. It's wild turkey. I've met a wild turkey or two. Now. Oh. Oh, and I have people in the room. Smirnoff Ice, permission to be sick. Makes a note to mail a case of Smirnoff Ice to me. Carry your damn ID. Teach your friends how to lie properly. I have a funny story about another friend. This friend I have talked about on stage before. We refer to him as Numbnuts. Numbnuts is special. Numbnuts makes the worst possible decisions at the worst possible time that anybody can ever make a decision. Well, Numbnuts and I went to another friend's Kentucky Derby party. Now, most of you have heard of the Kentucky Derby. It's a big horse race. It's the first Saturday in May. They have it in Kentucky. It is a party. Good night, Beaton. It is a party. And it is not like a day or two party. It is a week-long party. The city just about shuts down. About 2 weeks before Derby begins the Derby Festival. And that is with a giant fireworks show. And the next 2 weeks is a drunken bacchanalia of people in town going to bars and running around and grabbing food. They have something called the Chow Wagon. The Chow Wagon, and they have several locations around the town. You get in with these little pins you buy at the store. They're called Pegasus pins. And you go in and you buy food and drink tickets, and you eat the worst food in the world. It's all fair food. It's like all deep fried and all that. It's like not this like food truck specially prepared shit. No, this is the worst food in the world for you, and it is amazing. But anyways, you go to the Chow Wagon, you drink for damn near 2 weeks straight, and then the week of Derby, the out-of-towners start to show up. And it is a party. Last call in my hometown of Louisville, Kentucky, where the Derby is held, is normally 4 a.m. For the weekend of the Kentucky Derby, bars legally do not have to close. They just don't have to close. From like Friday to Sunday at 6 a.m., they don't have to close. They can stay open the entire time, and a lot of them do. But anyways, if you're from Louisville, you go to one Derby, you go to the infield, you try to sneak booze in, it's a rite of passage. After that, you go to your friends' houses. On Derby day, you don't go to the track, you go to a friend's house. You go to a giant-ass Derby party at a friend's house, and you drink. You drink and you party. If you have kids, you still drink and party, but you set up a board game room in the basement for the kids. So we're young. We go to this Kentucky Derby party. Everybody was intending to stay the night. We were very safe. I will not say there was underage drinking going on there. I will not say there wasn't either. But we are at this party, and Numbnuts is there. And as we are at this party, Numbnuts, who has never been a heavy drinker, decides he is going to drink some Mike's Hard Lemonade. And he drank one, and he drank another, and he drank another one after that. And he started apologizing for everything. I mean, he was walking up to, I am so sorry that your girlfriend broke up with you. Dude, you had nothing to do with that. I know, but I'm still sorry. I'm sorry that your horse didn't win the race. Man, it's nothing you can handle. Excuse me one moment. We're back. Sorry. Dipshit ate well tonight.
Very.
Anyways, as I was saying, we're at this derby party. Numbnuts has had his Mike's Hard Lemonade. He's apologizing for everything. I mean, he is apologizing for shit that happened before he was born. At one point, we had him apologizing for Vietnam and the Holocaust. He would sit there and we go, hey, Numbnuts, what about the Holocaust? I'm so sorry for the Holocaust. It was wrong of me. So he has that. He passes out. And that was the evening that I discovered the tequila slushy as well. That would be I walked in and there was a group of young ladies working the blender who had obviously never had any experience with any drinks that did not come in shot and form. And I say, "What are you doing?" And they said, "Oh, we're making margaritas." And I looked at the blender and I said, "That's brown. Margaritas aren't brown. What's in that margarita?" And they said, "Well, it's ice and tequila." And I said, "Well, that's not a margarita. That's a tequila slushy. You've made a tequila slushy, and I would like one, please." And it was very good. And then I got naked and set shit on fire.
Oops.
Yeah. To explain the dead air, guys, because I saw a couple people mention dead air. The dead air time was Dipshit the dog. I did not have time to eat my dinner before we went on screen tonight. So mine was on the stove waiting to be reheated later. Dipshit the dog has learned how to yank things off the stove, and he decided that much rather than the nice amount of food sitting in his bowl, he would like my fucking fish and chips. So Dipshit the dog ate my dinner.
I'll make you some more.
The things I sacrifice for you people. Oh, is it time for another song, or do we have another story?
Well, I'm sure we could come up with more stories.
Oh, we definitely can come up with more stories. The question is, should we come up with more stories? Let's see. Oh, okay. So we have, I have no idea how many viewers we have in the room. I think that's it right there, or where's
No, that's not it.
where's the fucking viewer count?
I don't know.
I normally don't give a shit about viewer counts, but I kind of want to see how many people are watching this tonight. So let me pause that real quick. 35. We have 35 people
Oh, wow.
watching. Yeah, that's neat.
Yeah.
Oh, I have several stories about of that. But back to this derby party. I want to finish the derby party story. The reason I want to finish the derby party story is we had another friend, friend named Vic. Vic was from Brooklyn, yo. And Vic let you know he was from Brooklyn, yo. That was Vic's thing. Vic would always, you said anything to Vic, you interrupted Vic, you had an argument with Vic, Vic would always end it with, I'm from Brooklyn, yo. Vic spent like 3 days in Brooklyn right after he was fucking born, before his parents came back to Kentucky. He wasn't like a Brooklyn native born and raised, but that's how he lived. Vic from Brooklyn. We called him Angry Vic. And we also called him That's Fucking Bullshit. And we called him That's Fucking Bullshit because that was what Vic really said every time. We'd play a wrestling game on the N64. There's Vic with the controller. He'd lose. That's fucking bullshit! And throw it. The controller would break. That's fucking bullshit! Well, Vic was at this derby party. Vic was a hirsute and large individual. He was fat and hairy. Vic was a fat and hairy man. All these women were rather skinny and pretty little Southern Belle type of women. So, and younger and somewhat intimidated by Vic. Vic had been drinking heavily. We had all been drinking heavily. There was a laundry room, and that laundry room had a door, and that door led out into the backyard, and it was a screen door, and it's May, it's Kentucky. The big door's open, the screen door's closed. We can hear everything. There's breeze moving through. Vic was outside. A bunch of these young ladies were outside. Myself and the host of the party were standing in the laundry room having a conversation, when all of a sudden, these 3 young girls come dashing in that screen door, slamming it behind them, and hide behind my friend, who looked like Stone Cold Steve Austin, only slightly larger. And we're wondering what the hell's going on. And then, through the screen door, backlit by the single light over the garage door, a massive shadow appears. And he goes, "Why are they all afraid of me? That's fucking bullshit," and stomps off into the night. That was Vic. That was Vic in a nutshell. Oh, do you have a story?
I didn't really drink a lot until I met you.
No, you did not.
But I used to be the designated driver a lot, which is funny because I didn't have a license. But I got my shoes puked on quite a bit. There was one time I took a friend to a concert. It was supposed to be an all-ages show, but she had did what most kids do and snuck a Mountain Dew into the show with her, and it was like half vodka, half Mountain Dew. She was so thoroughly wrecked by the end of this. I had to carry her out to her car and drive her home. She was considerably larger than I am.
Oh, is this the same friend I'm thinking of?
It may be.
Who's married to one of our other friends?
It may be.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. That was fun. And then she, I carried her, somehow I got her into the car. Get her into the front seat. She's laying over the front seat, half onto the driver's side. And I'm like, okay, I can do this. Start driving her home. She's like, hold on. She gets up to try to get to the window to vomit. She didn't get to the window. Everything went down right down the front of me. My pants, my shoes, everything. It was in my socks. And then after I got her home, because I didn't drive, and I wasn't going to explain to her mom what condition she was in, so she could take me home. And I had no clothes. So thankfully her 12-year-old nephew was awake. And I'm like, hey, would you mind terribly if I borrowed some of your clothes? And they fit.
I have a story about somebody puking in a car.
Uh, m- my sister-in-law?
No.
Me?
Yes. Do you remember that evening we took a leisurely drive through the park?
Yes, I do.
We had been out at the Magnolia Bar and Grill. Now, the Magnolia Bar and Grill did not have a grill. It had not had a grill for decades. It was a dive bar. It was the diviest of dive bars. The drinks were strong.
Coolest of dive bars.
The drinks were strong. They were cheap. You had an equal chance at the Mag Bar of sitting beside a judge, a lawyer, 2 police officers, a drug dealer, and a pimp with his prostitute, and everybody getting along. That's the type of bar it was. It had a wonderful jukebox. It was all mixes that the bartenders had made, most of them punk songs. There was no door on the men's room due to a regrettable cocaine incident. But it was a wonderful bar, and they knew me. They knew me very well at the Mag Bar. When my car pulled up, they would immediately pour my drink. I didn't even have to get in the door. Bourbon and Coke, which was bourbon, Coke. I tipped $1 a drink, and I would drink all fucking night, and then I would walk home. The Mag Bar was a fun place to be. There were times, because as you may or may not have noticed, I enjoy talking, that I would be sitting there, people would be talking to me, and the bartender would keep feeding me alcohol, because he knew that when the alcohol ran out, I was done talking, and I would go home. Folks, I did not have a drinking problem. I had a talking problem. I just like to talk with a drink in my hand. The bartenders would feed me free booze because 5 or 6 other people would be engaged in the conversation, and they would keep buying as long as I was talking. When she moved, I took her to the Mag Bar. Now, she has said she was not a drinker prior to meeting me. That changed very quickly when she realized about 90% of my social life revolved around the Mag Bar. And she would order screwdrivers. Screwdrivers, if you don't know and you're uneducated.
They were $2 freaking. Why not?
Screwdrivers, if you don't know and you're uneducated, are a bunch of vodka with some orange juice. I used to say that when I had a cold, I would order a screwdriver because I needed my vitamin C. But she ordered screwdrivers one evening. I was not drinking heavy. She ordered screwdrivers, and she must have had 3, 4, or 5 of them. And on the way home, I said, hey, why don't we drive? Oh, yeah, very heavy. Why don't we drive to the park? It's such a beautiful park. It will take a leisurely drive through it, and it'll get us back to the house. Let's go through the park. So I go through the park. What I don't think is the park is very windy and goes up and down a lot of hills. Mm-hmm. I think of this about the same time she looks at me doing this. At which point I roll down the window, she leans out, she pukes, and repaints the side of my Jeep. Yeah. Up until recently, she denied that story ever happened.
Oh, no, I didn't deny it.
You didn't remember it?
There were parts of it I was a little shady on. I thought we stopped the car before I
No.
started puking. I apparently didn't.
No, we didn't stop in Cherokee Park at night because at that point, the only people who stopped their cars in Cherokee Park at night were engaging in sex in the woods. And it was a very good way to get arrested.
Yeah, it was.
I love quack, quack, quack. If you're poor, it's Tang and vodka. No, that's not a screwdriver. That's a quarter. That's like the quarter you turn on the side to try to undo a screw because you can't afford the $1 screwdriver from the Dollar General store.
That's the $3 bill.
Yeah, that's a very thin dime. Speaking of which, if you wonder why people tune into these streams, it's not just for the stories and the songs. It's also because occasionally I tell you shit you don't know. Because there's like one guy out there who's like, I can't find my flathead screwdriver, and I just said take a quarter, turn it on its side, and you can unscrew something with it. And he's like, oh shit, I didn't think about that.
It's informative.
Yeah, I'm educational. Where's my grant money? Oh, wait. So when you're drinking, there's one type of song that is the best type of song to sing. We all know it's the best type of song to sing. And that is the Irish song. Oh, goodness. The Irish song is a time-honored tradition. There's one I sing at the end of every stream. It is not yet the end of this stream, though, so I can't sing that one. I will ask, would you grab my Swedish tobacco pouches? The snooze.
Oh, yeah, but I was wondering where you put them.
They're on the table by the couch.
Okay.
Thank you.
That would be a little helpful.
So we will sing a song that is Irish in nature. It is actually the national anthem for the Republic of Ireland. Once again, my throat is a little scratchy this week, has been a little scratchy all week, so hopefully I can do this without blowing out the mic or destroying your ears. But let's do a soldier's song. So, we'll sing a song, a soldier's song, with cheering, rousing chorus, as round our blazing fires we throng the starry heavens o'er us, impatient for the coming fight. And as we wait the morning's light, here in the silence of the night, we'll chant a soldier's song. Soldiers are we, whose lives are pledged to Ireland. Some have come from a land beyond the wave, sworn to be free. No more our ancient sireland shall shelter the despot or the slave. Tonight we man the gap of danger, and Erin's calls come, woe or weal. Mid cannons roar and rifles peal, we'll chant a soldier's song. In valley green or towering crag, our fathers fought before us and conquered 'neath the same old flag that's proudly floating o'er us. We're children of a fighting race that never yet has known disgrace. And as we march the foe to face, we'll chant a soldier's song. Soldiers are we, whose lives are pledged to Ireland. Some have come from a land beyond the wave, sworn to be free. No more our ancient sireland shall shelter the despot or the slave. Tonight we man the danger, and Erin's cause come, woe or weal. Mid cannons roar and rifles peal, we'll chant a soldier's song. Okay. Someone gave her tequila accent. They're talking about your shirt in the chat room, by the way.
Oh. It is sparkly. And yes, we loved the goblets.
Yes, we did. The goblets are wonderful. Thank you very much for them. Oh. So what now? We should tell another story. Should I tell the story of Terry the crackhead?
Our pet crackhead.
My pet crackhead. I should tell them the story of my pet crackhead. It's amazing the people that you meet when you go out and you drink at a bar.
Thank you, Marty.
Thank you, Marty Tate 76. Occasionally, you'll meet someone very high class. You'll meet a judge. You'll meet a lawyer. You'll meet a doctor, a police officer, and occasionally you meet Terry the crackhead. The Mag Bar, as I said, was kind of a melting pot. It was a place where everybody came together. And at the Mag Bar, I like to talk to everybody. One person I like to talk to was an older African-American gentleman. His name was Terry. Terry was a crackhead. And I'm not saying that euphemistically. I'm not saying that as, oh, you just thought he was a crackhead. I mean, Terry was a crackhead. Terry smoked crack. I went to Terry's house once. It was the cleanest crack den I had ever been in. Not that I'd been in many, mind you. But it definitely was the cleanest crack den I'd ever been in. Because Terry would get high and clean his entire home while high on crack. We tolerated Terry. Terry was good for a laugh. Terry was fun. Terry would come in, sit down, tell stories. We'd buy Terry beer. Terry was an interesting individual. He was actually a very nice man when he wasn't high and very intelligent when he wasn't smoking crack. which means I never got to see Terry when he was very nice and very intelligent because Terry was always smoking crack. Now, Terry would have endearing names for people, and among the names he had for me were Baby Boy. He called me Baby Boy. He called me Baby Boy a lot. It was a little unsettling. Terry one night, though, had come up to us and he said that he could get us tickets to an event. He had a connection. And against my better judgment, I gave Terry my phone number. For the next 2 years, my phone would randomly ring at strange hours, and it would be Terry. 3 a.m., Terry would come in and say things like, call me and say things like, "Yo, baby boy, what you doing?" And I would say, "Terry, it's 3 a.m. I'm in bed." "You want to go get a beer?" "No, Terry, it's 3 a.m. I'm in bed." My phone would ring at 6 a.m. "Yo, boy, what you doing?" "Terry, it's 6 a.m. I'm going to work." "You want to go get a beer?" "No, Terry, it's 6 a.m. I'm going to work." This happened on and off for 2 solid years. Like it would be 2 a.m. My phone would ring, and you would hear her in bed go, "Is it Terry?"
And I knew, because we didn't get calls at 4 a.m. unless somebody had either died or it was Terry.
And nobody had ever died.
No.
It was Terry. I don't know how Terry is doing. I have not talked to Terry since I left Kentucky. However, Terry has been referred to as my pet crackhead ever since. So, if anybody out there knows Terry, don't fucking tell him my phone number. It's been years. I'm enjoying sleeping through the goddamn night. Let's see what the chat room's saying. Meow has offered to give me $10 if I sing "Look What You Made Me Do" by Taylor Swift. I don't know "Look What You Made Me Do" by Taylor Swift. I don't even know the melody to "Look What You Made Me Do" by Taylor Swift. I mean, I'm considering it. $10 is 10 fucking bucks. Yeah. Speaking of which,
said he'd match it.
Speaking of which, if anybody out there actually does have the donation links, I'm looking at everybody with a fucking wrench by their name. If you could put those in the chat so people know what I'm talking about when I say things like that, I'd really appreciate that. Okay. There's the Streamlabs link, which I'm going to attempt to locate right now. And then there's a Ko-fi link. I always suggest people go through the Streamlabs because that gets your face on the screen. Like, that gets everything else on the screen. Yave Ann is asking if you have any LARP stories.
I do have some LARP stories.
Well, would you like to tell a LARP story?
I'm trying to think of a good one.
La la la.
I'm a fishy person in LARP. Well, there was the tavern incident. We have a now 2-year-old who we took LARPing with us on this last adventure. He was a little bit cranky, so I took him to the room.
1 second. Forge, tell me how that's a deal.
Yes. I took him up to the room to get him calmed down, and our room was in the tavern. So I took him up, and I'm like, okay, I got him calmed down, got him down for a nap.
Wait, is this... Oh, guys, this is the other side to my Plague Doctor story. This is her side of the Plague Doctor story that I told at Otherworld Stories at MFF.
Yeah. So I got him down. I'm like, okay, I'm going to go down and check and see what Boozy's doing. I walk in, and I see everyone just kind of standing still, and him going... And then I'm like, okay then. Shut the door. I shut the door, and it sounds like World War III is going on downstairs. Luckily enough, it didn't wake the baby. But I find out I missed one of the biggest battles in the entire weekend.
That was the only time I died that weekend. The plague doctor had raided the inn and was infecting people with plague. And the last act I did before dying when she opened the door was warn her off, and then I died.
Luckily enough, I managed to not die because, well, I was summoned back into the room.
That's love, folks. Mm-hmm. Letting your wife's fictional character live while you die. Oh.
You got massacred.
Well, yeah. They were like the three assholes who knew how to teleport, and they were fucking gone. They're just like, we're teleporting by.
Yeah. Well, and then our daughter went to go get help. She's the one that brought reinforcements.
I love that. She came up to the tavern, saw what was going on, and ran like hell. Mm-hmm. Now, I heard the other side of that story from her.
Yeah. She
didn't go get reinforcements first. She ran and then thought, I should go get reinforcements.
But she got reinforcements. So.
Yeah, she came back after everybody was dead.
But more people would have died if it didn't.
Everybody who was gonna die was dead. Oh.
I did Dante.
Love is when your wife can outfart you. Marty Tate, it gets better. I once got her to Dutch oven herself.
Oh my god, yes he did. Oh. Well, I'm a rather light sleeper. He's a rather heavy sleeper. And sometimes he does things like fart in bed and it wakes me up. It was so loud and noisy, it woke me up. And so I'm like, he jostled the bed.
No,
I'm like,
okay. I was fully awake at this point.
Well,
like I had just woke up.
Well, I'm like half asleep. I'm like, oh, you fucker, pull the covers over me to turn to the other side. Oh. And I ended up sticking them over my face, and oh my god,
she Dutch ovened herself.
Yeah, and oh my god, and that was right.
It has been years. I have never let that stop. Grandiose Toda said we are like Kevin Smith and Jason Mewes. We probably are, with a lot more dick sucking going on. Yeah.
And you'd be Jay and I'd be Silent Bob.
I don't think so. I think I'm definitely the Silent Bob of this relationship.
That's why you can't stop talking.
Kevin Smith can't either. Have you ever seen any of his? He didn't say Jay and Silent Bob. He said Kevin Smith and Jason Mewes.
Yeah.
Oh. Rook.
Do I get to do the goodbye horses dance then?
Later. Oh. Let's see. What else? What other stories do I have that I can tell with you around? That's the problem. Is like a lot of my prior drinking stories are not.
I've heard most of them.
No, you haven't. No, you most definitely haven't. There's plenty of stories you have not heard. Oh. You underestimate how much dick sucking there is between Kevin Smith and Jason Mewes. Oh. I should say, alcohol makes you stupid. I lived for a period of time in an apartment that I affectionately called the apartment that Anheuser-Busch built. Myself and a friend had moved in. Our selection of this apartment was based on one condition only, and it was the fact that it had a bar in the middle of the living room, like a full-on bar. We saw that and we were sold. We had not looked in the bedrooms. We did not know the ceilings were entirely mirrored. We did not question the fact that although this was like 2001, they were insisting the shag carpeting was brand new. And we hadn't looked at the crime statistics in that area. But we did move in because of that. And it was the apartment Anheuser-Busch built. And in that apartment, I was working on boats at the time. Occasionally, members of my crew would come over and drink. And there was a very pretty young crew member, a very attractive, I should say, young crew member, that came over one evening. We were both of legal age. and we began to pour liquor. Now, we had the weirdest collection of liquor that you have ever seen. It was not just manly drinks. It was not just whiskey and gin and tequila and things like that. It was not just that. We also had shit like 99 bananas schnapps. I don't know why. Neither of us liked the taste of bananas.
99 peaches is some good shit.
This isn't your story.
I'll let you continue.
So we had the 99 bananas. Now, you got to understand, guys, for a long period of time when I was younger, I was the fat kid. That's who I was. I was the fat, funny kid. And when I was working on boats, I got amazingly in shape. I'd played football in high school. That had helped a bit, but I was offensive line and we were expected to be fat. But when I was working on boats, I got amazingly in shape. Part of getting amazingly in shape was I dropped a lot of weight. I dropped a lot of weight because I was so fucking poor I couldn't eat anything other than boiled chicken breasts and hot dogs. Try that fucking diet for about a year. And I was doing...
You still eat so bad.
And I was doing this really rough physical labor, and I don't think I had realized until after this incident that I had actually become very attractive. And if you don't believe me, ask Alkali. Alkali has seen pictures of me from that era. And his response was, dude, I'd break you. But anyways, well, Ace, I'm not the fucking fat kid now. I'm the fucking fat man. This is Jake. Thank you. But anyways, so this attractive young crew member had come back to my apartment, and the idea was we were just going to watch a movie and chat. I hadn't thought anything of it.
Netflix and show.
And we broke out the 99 bananas, and I don't know how we ended up drinking the night. I think that they didn't like whiskey and everything like that. So we had decided on the 99 bananas. I'm going to ask you to take care of that because this is not a child-appropriate story. Everybody wave hi. Everybody wave hi to the child who said, fuck you, I'm coming in. But anyways. Good, mom's gone. But anyways, this crew member come over, and I did not realize that they were trying to get close to me at the time. And we were drinking the 99 bananas. Then as now, I had a pretty high tolerance. They, I believe, had a much higher tolerance than they were letting on. But they were talking about leg pain. Now, guys, I knew how to massage a leg. I had played sports for years. I was very good at calf massages, thigh massages, all that stuff you give for sports stuff. So I said, oh, well, I can take care of that. And they were wearing jeans, and I was just kind of working the calf. And, I had no compunctions, whatever gender, of doing it because, had before. It's not like, you sat there, it wouldn't be the first time I had rubbed somebody else's calf in a platonic manner. But about halfway through, they say, oh, it's higher, oh, it's higher, oh, it's higher. And then they said, hold on, let me get the jeans off so you can really get at the muscle. And they do that, and I'm rubbing the calf, oh, it's higher, and I'm up to the thigh, oh, it's higher. And I'm going, and about after 10 minutes, I sit back and say, is it better? And they go, yeah, it's better. And we sat up, and we watched the rest of the movie, and they go, okay, I gotta leave. So they leave right immediately after that. The next day, I was talking to a friend of mine, and I mentioned this. And they looked at me, and they said, you dipshit. They were hitting on you. You could have gotten laid. And they were right. I much, much later confirmed that was exactly what was going on. So, ladies and gentlemen, the evils of alcohol, at least 99 bananas, is it makes you oblivious to everything going on around you.
It's 99 proof.
Good timing. Oh, okay. The chat room. Tiny Badjot. Hi. Run. Escape. Run, little guy, run.
I started as Thomas.
Daddy, what's that drink? Waves to a tiny person. Daddy, who are those people? Furries, son. They're furries.
He's quite aware of.
Oh, he's definitely aware of furry. He rolls around furry conventions, points at canine first, and he goes, dog.
Yeah, pup.
Pup.
And he goes,
At the feline ones. That's his purring. That's how he purrs. So it's fine for me. I'm oblivious to those come-ons anywheres. Yes, I have more stories about how fucking oblivious I am, but I'm not going to share them right now. Oh, I'm definitely oblivious. I'm completely oblivious. I had the Asian ex. You know who I'm talking about when I say it. The blue-haired Asian. Mm-hmm. When the blue-haired Asian and I started dating, they had asked me out for a date, but what they said was...
the Asian twinks.
But what they had said was, would you like to go and do something together sometime? I said, yeah, sure, that'd be great. Or no, I'd like to get to know you better. I'd like to go out with you. I said, yeah, sure, that'd be great. And they left. And, like, I'm halfway home. And I stop and I go, oh, shit, they were asking me out. Oh. Oh, God, what would he do for a lizard? I know lots, myself included, who probably wouldn't pick up on those clues sober. Sees the dog in the back. Don't encourage the dog. Don't encourage him. That's how you get Trey's power hour.
Oh, God.
The fucking asshole ate my dinner.
I'll make you more dinner.
No, you won't.
I will.
You say you'll make me more dinner.
I'll make
You'll open a bottle of wine and get drunk. Leave me sitting in my own filth, crying and hungry.
Yes, because that's what I do every night.
Yes, it is.
I didn't help you,
She
get to the poop chair.
She abuses me. I asked her to get me sheets on the way home. She didn't.
I got fish and chips instead.
Then she said, I'll go out after the stream and get sheets.
Well,
as she pours a glass of whiskey.
I didn't think of that, and then I thought of that.
I sure
God.
as fuck thought of it.
Well, I would have thought about that before I drove, because I don't drive. No. I don't drive with even
No,
sick
you don't.
Me, so
anymore. Don't even try it. Oh, wine counts as a fruit or vegetable. Don't give her ideas.
It does count as a fruit.
Don't give her ideas. Oh, okay. Should we do another song?
What?
Should we do another song?
If you want to.
Yeah, let's do another song, because we've been on an hour. We're going to go to about 9 o'clock.
I know none of these, but
we're gonna
I'm
go.
Learning.
Unfortunately, guys, I do have something I have to do at 9, and I know Forge was like planning on streaming tonight as soon as I'm done.
Okay.
So I'm not. I'm not gonna go over. I've been planning on streaming for 7 to 9, but I'm not gonna go over because I know Forge is waiting to stream right after this. Mm-hmm. So let's do Fields of Athenry.
Okay, I vaguely know this one.
How do you not know Fields of Athenry?
I don't know, because...
I have sang this drunk so many times.
You have, but the key word there is drunk.
Oh my God.
So, like, by the last verse, it's like...
Well, this is a lovely Irish tune again, because Irish drinking songs are the best drinking songs. It is a traditional Irish tune. Excuse me. It is an uplifting song about a young man who is shipped off to Australia because he stole corn.
Which was a common occurrence.
Yes. Yeah, because all Irish drinking songs are uplifting.
Well, yes.
So let's go ahead and see if if me and my horrible throat can handle this one tonight. Okay. By lonely prison wall, I heard a young girl calling. Michael, they have taken you away, for you stole Trevillion's corn, so our young might see the morn. Now prison ship lies waiting in the bay. Low lie the fields of Athenry, where once we watched the small free birds fly. Our love was on the wing, we had dreams and songs to sing. Now it's lonely round the fields of Athenry. By lonely prison wall, I heard a young man calling. Nothing matters, Mary, when you're free. 'Gainst the famine and the crown, I rebelled, they put me down. Now you must raise our child with dignity. Low lie the fields of Athenry, where once we watched the small free birds fly. Our love was on the wing, we had dreams and songs to sing. It's so lonely round the fields of Athenry. By lonely harbor wall, she watched the last star falling, as the prison ship sailed out across the sky. So she'll live and hope and pray for her love in Botany Bay. It's so lonely round the fields of Athenry. Long lie the fields of Athenry, where once we watched the small free birds fly. Our love was on the wing, we had dreams and songs to sing. Now it's lonely round the fields of Athenry. And that is the fields of Athenry. Oh, so we have, what's that, 18 more minutes? 18 more minutes. I have 2 more songs to sing. The one I close every stream out with, and then one more between then, which is an upbeat Irish drinking song. What should we talk about, though, for the next 10 minutes before we get to those?
I don't know. We were talking about like bad decisions.
No, horrible decisions in liquor. That's the point of this stream. It's barrooms and ballads. The whole point is to talk about bad decisions you make while you are drinking. I've made a number of bad decisions.
I get to supply those bad decisions on a daily basis to my customers at work.
I personally love. We have told the story before of how I first proposed to my partner here. And the story of the actual proposal is that I got us into a restaurant, slid a ring across the table, and said, "Are you willing to make the biggest mistake of your life?" Now, before that, there was a pre-proposal. The pre-proposal was much less official. The pre-proposal took place while we were still living apart in different states.
And he called me drunk.
And I had been drinking rather heavily at a bar one evening. It was a gay bar. It was a gay bar.
Like
I was drinking.
Cheers.
I mean, it really was. It was like gay cheers.
I love that place.
Norm and Woody had a really interesting relationship. But anyways,
sometimes you want to go.
So I call, and we're having a talk, and it's a wonderful talk. And about in the middle of it, I hold my phone up, and the entire bar says, "Marry him," and she says yes, and then I go, "Okay, I guess you should move here," and then I hung the fuck up, and we danced. I danced with gay men. It was wonderful.
As you do.
As one does, yes. But that is that. Now, Dante has said I may want to do con updates, and I guess I probably do. I'm also going to, in the last few minutes here before the next 2 things, I'm going to post the link in the chat for the Streamlabs donation one more time. This is the kind of the tip jar thing. You go through there, it goes through Streamlabs, it comes into my account, your name pops up in the little corner here. It shows that you donated, and I can say, "Oh, thank you." Oh, and Dragger shows up for like the last 15 minutes because I got started late, and somebody has a stream scheduled right after this. Dragor, hello. You missed the story of the crackhead, my pet crackhead. You missed the story of me being oblivious as I massaged someone's calf and thigh, oblivious to the fact that they wanted me to massage other parts of their body. You missed the story of the puke fest as we drove through the park one evening. You missed some wonderful life tips about how you can use a coin in place of a screwdriver. You missed a lot there, Dragor. But anyways, if you do want to donate, there's the link right up there. It pops up on the stream. It'll show me you donate. I get to say hello and thank you and all that great shit. Now, Dante has said I should probably update people about the cons that are coming up. I will be at First Squared, who Dragor over there is part of the staff of. I'll be at First Squared. I'll be at First Squared with the entire family. They're going to work me half to death.
And it's right after our anniversary.
Yes, it is.
And I have plans.
Yeah, that scares me.
It should. I'm winning this year.
Okay. We'll explain that in a second.
Okay.
After First Squared, I think the next confirmed convention I have is Furthermore. I'm going to try to get out to Anthro, Ohio. Then I have Anthrocon. I don't think I have anything after Anthrocon up until August, when I will most likely go out to Philadelphia. I'll be the guest of honor. I'll be the guest of honor at Tiny Paws. Let me do it. I'll be the guest of honor at Tiny Paws. She's just chomping at the bit. She keeps the schedule.
I am trying to.
Yeah, she keeps the schedule now. So she's like, he'll forget everything.
And we may be doing FWA.
We may be doing FWA. But the week after Philadelphia, I'll be one of the guest of honors at Tiny Paws up in Danbury, Connecticut. The week after that, I'll be out at IFC. In September, I don't know if I have anything. I don't think so. But don't hold me to that. I may go back to FurPoc again this year if they'll have me. I was there last year. I didn't get to do a show. They couldn't fit it in their schedule because I was a very last-minute addition. I will definitely be back at MFF again this year. Outside of that, the schedule is kind of open. So if you have any suggestions or you'd like to bug us to see if you can get me to come out to one of them, go ahead and talk to the Otter on Twitter. She keeps the schedule.
I do keep the schedule.
Western PA Furry Weekend. When is Western PA Furry Weekend? That is, hold on. That's my question. I would like to know when that is. I'm not sure when it is, but I thought about going last year and I decided not to because it was very last minute for me. It would have involved driving across the state unplanned on a Saturday morning, so I decided not to. But if somebody wants to give me the information on Western PA Furry Weekend and they would like to have me out there, more than willing to go. And it's just on the other side of the state. I love supporting things that are local. And if they have some room in the programming schedule, I'd love to do a charity thing for them or something like that. So
we can stay at Busterham if we do FWA.
Say what?
We can stay at Busterham if we go to FWA.
That's frightening. Where's he gonna stay? We've shared a room. I've seen more of Toad than I want to see. Rook, please help me. WPA is October 5th through the 7th. It's just on the other side of the state. I can probably manage that one. Let me know when their panel submissions open, and I'll see if I can get something for the charity up there. Okay? But that's where we are on all that. And that killed some time. Once again, there's donation links in there. Guys, if you have anything you want to see me do, any cons out there that you want to know if I can make it to or things like that, remember I do most of this out of my own pocket. So if like there's been people going, come to BLFC. For me, that means getting airfare, closing my office down for a day because it's a drop. It's a flight. Flying out to Reno, getting a hotel room. Flying back, and that stuff does get a little expensive. So if I don't go to cons that you're going to be at or that people suggest I go to, just remember I do a lot of this out of my own pocket. So it does. I have to be a little choosy about what we do and where we go and things like that. Of course, that didn't stop me from flying to fucking Seattle for a joke. So maybe that's not a good defense anymore.
Not a good defense.
MCFC, that is the Detroit one.
That's Motor City for Crime.
Yeah, that requires going to Detroit.
Oh, come on, you know you want to.
No, I don't. I have things against. I have things against. One of the things I have against Detroit is I wrote a paper on Detroit's bankruptcy in law school.
I know you did.
I wrote about Detroit's pending bankruptcy when I was in law school.
It's a pretty impressive paper.
I know way too much about Detroit now. So we have 10 minutes left. Instead of telling stories for the next 10 minutes, I'll look over at the room. If you guys have any questions, feel free to ask. I do want to give a couple shout-outs real quick to some Patreon supporters because I have fallen very, very behind in doing this.
Understandably.
And haven't gotten some of the things that I wanted to get done. So let me jump on to Patreon real quick because I'm
moving your drink.
Yes, that's probably a very good idea. God damn
now,
it.
see, everyone's saying it's technically not Detroit.
You just want me to go to fucking Detroit. I know how this works.
I don't need to go to Detroit.
You want to go to Detroit.
I want to go to... I want to go to my receiver.
So I have a couple Patreon shout-outs. There is a Lawyers and Liquor Patreon out there, guys. I have been horrible about updating it since my injury. I'm very, very sorry to all the current patrons out there.
The Toki is amazing.
However, I will be getting back to updating everything very, very soon. So a couple of my shout-outs here. We have Dante PD. We have Ash, Mr. Ash, who is the director of programming over at Anthrocon, a very good friend. Just Dave, Petrov Neutrino, Mark Beckwar, the Beckwar, Night Star, Netherlinks, Alex George, the porn star Lindsay Love, and Uncle Kage, along with Ardrix Blackclaw. So those are all the people who donate at the, I think, $14, $15 and above level.
Yeah.
Get shout-outs in all the media I do. We will be doing an audio mailbag. It'll be up very, very shortly. That's getting recorded and edited tomorrow, and it'll be back up on the Patreon. Wait, so if we pay for you, you go. Quack, quack, honk. If I'll say what I've said to other people who have asked that question. I never turn down offers like that. It takes a lot of pressure off me. I certainly don't ask for them. And I'm more than happy to do them out of pocket, but it does help. But the biggest thing is, and we have to remember this, I am a practicing attorney. And that means that conventions and things like that, they have to work around my office schedule as well.
Yeah.
But if I haven't, I have had people ask that in the past, if we do this or if we do that. It does make me more able.
It makes me more able, but
yeah, it makes me more able, but it's never necessarily something, and I never ask for it. That's the other thing I've been is I don't ask about that when I decide to go. Normally, what I'm asking for is stage time.
Yeah.
So. But all that's done. If you want to support the Patreon, it's patreon.com/lawyersandliquor. We do monthly things on there. I'm getting back to doing the monthly things right now. After the injury, she'll tell you that she's damn near had to yank things out of my hand a few times. And we've got 2 more songs, and then I think we're wrapping it up for the night. So Forge can go out there and do his Twitch stream where he drinks as well.
Yep.
Okay. So this first one is yet another Irish song. It is much more upbeat than the other ones we have done. You can sing it a cappella. Most of you probably know this song already. And if you do, I encourage you to please sing along at home. I do know the Drunk Scotsman. As a matter of fact, I sang the Drunken Scotsman at ACE.
Yeah.
So this is, ladies and gentlemen, The Moonshiner. Oh, I've been a moonshiner for many a year, spent all my money on whiskey and beer. I'll go to some hollow, I'll set up my still, and I'll make you a gallon for a 10-shilling bill. I'm a rambler, I'm a gambler, I'm a long way from home, and if you don't like me, you can leave me alone. I'll eat when I'm hungry, I'll drink when I'm dry, and if moonshine don't kill me, I'll live till I die. I'll go to some hollow in this country, 10 gallons of wash I can go on a spree. No woman to follow, the world is all mine. Oh, I love none so well as I love the moonshine. I'm a rambler, I'm a gambler, I'm a long way from home, and if you don't like me, then leave me alone. I'll eat when I'm hungry, I'll drink when I'm dry, and if moonshine don't kill me, I'll live till I die. Oh moonshine, oh how I love thee. You killed me poor father, but dare you try me. Bless all the moonshiners and bless all moonshine, for their breath smells as sweet as the dew on the vine. I'm a rambler, I'm a gambler, I'm a long way from home. And if you don't like me, then leave me alone. I'll eat when I'm hungry, I'll drink when I'm dry. And if moonshine don't kill me, I'll live till I die. All right. So that was the Moonshiner, guys. I'm going to finish this glass. We're going to call it a night. Forge is going to be putting on his Twitters, which I'll retweet out momentarily, a link to his Twitch stream, which he is getting going right after we finish up here. I'm sorry to cut a little short. I was planning on 2.5 hours, but I know that Forge was waiting until this was done to do his, and I want to make sure that he gets in there as well. So let's go ahead and finish our glasses off. Folks, we have one toast, one song, and we're done for the night. So may the road rise to meet you. May the sun be ever at your back. May your journey be long, but your trip home be short. And may you be in heaven half an hour before the devil knows you're dead. And now, the parting glass. Ready?
Yeah.
All right. Of all the money that e'er I had, I spent it in good company. And of all the trouble that e'er I caused, alas, it was to none but me. And all I've done for want of wit, to memory now I can't recall. So fill to me the parting glass. Good night and joy be to you all. Yes, fill to me the parting glass, and drink to health whate'er befalls. As I gently rise and I softly call, good night and joy be to you all. Of all the comrades that e'er I had, they're sorry for my going away. And of all the sweethearts that e'er I had, they wish me one more day to stay. But since it falls unto my lot that I should rise and you should not, I'll gently rise and I'll softly call, good night and joy be to you all. Folks, as always, thank you for tuning in. It's been wonderful talking to you. I look forward to doing this with you again very, very soon. Have a good night.
Good night.